What's going on, YouTube? Another episode here of Whatever I Do. It's one of my mini, basically, when I talk about whatever's going on in the NBA. Last time I went live, and I don't know if that actually worked, if I'm being honest. um, but I don't remember what I spoke about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on it. I'm
And
gonna see
I
what I
don't
said.
really, I can't say why exactly. I think it's more of like Chris Paul showing his age. I mean, I mentioned it before, right? But it's also their lack of bench depth it's insane.
All right. So whatever I talked about last week obviously doesn't matter anymore because it's already been a week. So as we all know, the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets are tied 2-2 apiece, respectively. Obviously, that's what that means, 2-2, tied. Who do I think is going to win that series now? I still am leaning towards the Nuggets, but there's something about Phoenix's offense that is a little too scary for me. In the sense of looking at Denver's way of playing defense, you have to double D-Book, who's like super hot right now, like streakingly hot. It's crazy. And then you got to look at if you double him, well, then you got KD wide open for the mid range, right? So who are you not guarding? You're not guarding Eaton. Okay, fine, but that means you're putting Jokic to double, and Jokic isn't very fast, and he might even prevent the defensive, you know, monster, I guess, that Aaron Gordon might be or KCP might be in this series. Obviously, I'm not saying that they are defensive monsters. But yeah, let's talk about that offense in Phoenix, bro. It's beautiful, and dare I say, the Phoenix Suns are better without Chris Paul. I I don't believe that, but I also kind of do, and it's not because Chris Paul, the overall great player that he once was, wouldn't be a great asset to have right now. He's just not that guy anymore. Like he's 36, right? Like he's getting up there. So yeah, I don't know what to expect with him. Is he 38 now, actually? I don't know. No, he's death in '05 at the age of 20. So he's 20 and '05. What is that? So 30 and 15. Yeah, oh wow, 38. Jesus. Okay. So, yeah, like I still think that they play better with him. No, I don't. I think that they play better without him. And I think it's because there's more offense, I guess. He's just slowed down. It's that simple, and it's looked different. They've won those games now. Obviously, bench contributions is a real thing, right? Landry Shamet hitting five threes, crazy. Like who would expect that from Shamet again? But he was doing stuff like that, right? You know, T.J. Warren, timely buckets, Terrence Ross showing some life. Jacques Landale, he's balling, right? He played those final couple minutes instead of 8 the other day. Also, my asthma's really bad today, so don't mind the wheezing. But yeah, it was a good game, and so far it's been a really good series, and it's living up to the hype. The Lakers destroyed Golden State after getting destroyed by Golden State. But yeah, the Lakers destroyed them at home. It's another up 2-1. I believe they play tonight. Who do I have for that? I want to say the Lakers, but there's this thing going around, and I'm seeing it. I saw it. Well, anybody's seeing it, right? If you watch the NBA, AD has a good first game, bad second game, good third game, bad fourth game. So could that happen here tonight? Probably. I mean, you have to take into consideration the adjustments. Wow, the adjustments and just the overall like talent of each team, but especially the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors have the bodies to defend AD. It might not be as lanky or as tall as AD is, but people that can bother him, and bothering him is more than enough, I believe. And LeBron really, it's crazy to think LeBron hasn't had a great playoffs if you think about it. Shooting abysmal from the 3-point line, he looks like a super shell of his former self, which is crazy because he's still probably averaging like 20 points a game, but still, you know that AD has to be the best player, and if AD is your best player, can you really count on that, barring any, because of all his injuries in the past? But the other guys are showing, some signs of life. D'Angelo Russell, kind of proving me somewhat wrong. I mean, he does have bad games in the playoffs, and he has had it this postseason. But overall, he's been solid. I mean, a lot better than I anticipated him to be. To be honest, he's looks like he's gonna get a pretty decent payday. If it's not with the Lakers, who knows? Um, but yeah, shout out the Lakers for winning that game. I'm gonna lean with the Warriors for tonight. But like I think I said it before, I think I have the Warriors in 7. But I could be wrong, and I don't really care if I'm wrong because this means nothing to me. So yeah, that's those two. That's the West. Let's go to the East. The Knicks and Miami. Miami. Wow, I really enunciated that. No point. Honestly, what am I? Okay, so Miami and New York. A good series so far. Julius Randle played like garbage last game, but overall it's been a good series, and I think Miami has the edge because they have the better player. And I know that it sucks because I think my New York has a better overall team, but the better player is Jimmy Butler, and I think the better player is going to win you this specific playoff series. Only because there's not many powerhouses. Like these two are not powerhouses, right? They're a fifth seed, I believe. Was it? Yeah, the fifth seed and the eighth seed, respectively. You know, and your best player or the best player in this series, obviously in Jimmy Butler, he does it on both ends, and I think that that goes like really under the radar for how great Jimmy Butler is. Because yeah, his offense has been great, but defensively he's been solid as well, and you know what you're gonna get from Jimmy on both ends of the court, night in and night out. Even with that injury that he had, that he sustained, in that first game. I don't know. I think I had the Knicks in six. I also don't remember my predictions to be honest. So I'm gonna go with Miami in six. And I just think the first eight seed since who was it? Was it the Knicks? I think I also mentioned this in the last one too. But yeah, I have Miami winning this series, and reason alone is that Jimmy Butler is just that good. What's going on with Bam though? I feel like Bam is being like he's going also under the radar, but like he's playing bad. So that's not a good thing. I guess it's a good thing that he's under the radar right now because I don't really see him as the second guy. I mean, he was an all-star this season, but who really is your all-star? You know? Whatever. I don't really care about this series either. This is one of those that it's like whoever wins this is I don't think they're gonna win it in the finals. I think it's gonna come from the West. Or in this next series in Boston and Philly, which has been crazy. So as we all know, Harden drops 45, whatever, blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, uh, you know, Tatum has a 7 point game, but then they win in game two, right? So it by like 30 points almost at one point. And Embiid came back. He won MVP, by the way. Crazy. I really thought it was gonna be Jokic, back to back to back. But I guess Embiid they gave it to him because Jokic won it back to back. So whatever. Um, but yeah, he gets his MVP trophy and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play game two." What was the point of that? You guys already split a game. Might as well just stay home and rest. Because then in that first game back home in Philly, they lost. But then they won again, and they won on again another James Harden game-winning three-point shot. It's crazy. A lot of it goes to the Celtics coaching, I guess you can say, and Missoula not calling timeouts. But in certain moments, it's like, why would you call a timeout? You have the advantage. You don't want them to sub in their better defenders. Them as in Philly. You don't want Philly to sub in their better defenders against, the juggernaut of offense that you have. At least you're supposedly supposed to have, because they have been looking a little very inconsistent. And they've looked like that based off last season too. And the year before that, and the year before that. It's like at some point. But also really bad defensive possession, like defensive play by Jalen Brown. What were you doing in the middle there, bro? Like you guys are up by two. Embiid has the ball. The worst case scenario is he makes the shot, and you guys are tied. They're forced to foul you. Like, what's the point of clogging all of that paint with Embiid when Embiid is just gonna pass it over you and give it to Harden, who was surprisingly wide open for that three, and that was 100% your fault, Jalen. We all know it. And Tatum with just lack of awareness at times. I don't want to pinpoint to a specific play because I really just don't know. But it's just you just watch the game, and I feel like it also is the Missoula method or the Missoula way, right? Like the Missoula way, give the ball to Tatum and let him cook. But they haven't really been going to that because I guess it's so predictable. But in the moments that you need to do it, even if Missoula doesn't call it, I feel like Tatum just has to take it because he's the best player on that team. And if not him, give it to Brown. Brown was having a pretty solid game too. I don't know. I think there's just really stupid stuff that late games it matters, right? And look, they're tied 2-2. I still think Boston has this series in six. But you can 100% convince me that this Boston team is going to choke in the most Boston way possible, and it's pathetic to watch because you're a championship level team. Just don't make these stupid mistakes anymore. Like your window is right now, and I'm not saying the window isn't going to be open for the rest, for the next 5 years because you have such a young core. But this is probably going to be the easiest one if you think about it. I mean, next season, more teams are going to get better, more teams are going to adjust better. Free agents come in and out, whatever the case may be. And your number one, foe, or the one that you were, I guess, trying to get over the hump, if you want to say that, because not really, because you beat them last year, but still, Milwaukee is out. Like this is the team. This team can win it all. You have the best core in the NBA, a solid bench. Players are getting a little older in Al Horford, right? And well, that's pretty much it. Like you have the tools to win a championship this season. Stop making mistakes. And I think it's Missoula's fault. I think it's Brown's fault. I think it's Tatum's fault. I think it's Smart's fault. I think everybody has their own like reasoning as to why it's their fault. But at the end of the day, their camaraderie of all their faults should also lead to success. It's like, all right, you made this mistake, I made this mistake. Let's work on it. Let's not make these mistakes again, so that we can get this series over with and inevitably win our 18th. Would it be 18th or 19th? Should have been a Google search. And I'm gonna do it because I don't care. All right, let's see. Let's look up here. All right. How many championships do the Celtics have? Bruh. Okay. Well, it's in Spanish. So let's try this again. How many championships do the Boston Celtics have? All right, so it's just showing me a song. So how many championships do the Boston Celtics have? Do the Celtics have? Okay. I'm going to go on a limb here and say 18. 16. Okay. So they have 16 and they was to be their 17th. I don't see why not. I don't see why it can't happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's been going on in the NBA. I've been really late to a lot of stuff. I don't upload consistently, if I'm being honest. But that's okay because I just do it when I have free time or when I want to. And today I really wanted to. I also wanted to be like, I don't have many subs, right? So I think I'm just gonna do whatever I find interesting in the NBA. I might do like some basketball reference stuff or like quizzes. Oh, bro, I've been dying to do. Who used to do a lot of quizzes? I think he still does some now. King of the Fourth Quarter, Kenny Beecham. He used to do a lot of them. I used to love them because every time he would do it, I would like follow along and be like, oh, I got that answer, and then I would get it, but I couldn't, brag about it because, well, he's a YouTube, like it was just a screen. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Oh, Nikola Jokic pushed some Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Suns, and he is not getting suspended. Crazy. I thought he would. Um, oh, you know what I was also thinking? I wanted to talk about like old NBA players, or not old NBA, like players from like I guess when I grew up, right? Like random players, like Allen Anderson. Who's that? Right? Like let's talk about him. Or I guess old Nets guys, because I'm a Nets fan, obviously. So like Chris Humphries, he's pretty well known because of the Kardashians. But Humphries, Reggie Evans, where are you? Andre Bloch, which you hear his name a lot because of Gilbert Arenas, right? Yeah, kind of do something like that, like just like analyze their careers. Keith Bogans, that one season he played with us with Stackhouse, who was on that bench too. Um, where was I going with this? I don't know, but all I know is that the playoffs are here, and I can't wait for this upcoming round. Doesn't this playoffs, don't these playoffs specifically feel a little weird to you? Like it's just, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see these guys, compete, but there's just something off. I don't know. It could be just me too. Like I could just be reading too deep into it, but I don't know. There's just something that looks weird with this playoffs, and I don't think I've ever felt this way about it. Well, I'm speaking like I'm on a therapy session, but I mean it. Like it's so weird. Um, but yeah. So with all that being said, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you are interested. If you're not though, like you're probably, if you're not interested, you're probably not gotten this far into the video. But if you did, you should 100% Share it to somebody who likes basketball as much as I do, because I'm an NBA sicko. I love it. It is amazing. And I'm Latino, so puedo hablar español si quieren. That was really bad. I was about to cough and then sneeze at the same time, so it felt really weird. Well, I'm out. Peace.